if there was an emergency. It is difficult to be at our school, pick up for them. Closing a neighborhood school is detrimental to the community and our service. We had family fun night and we had people vote at our school. Sometimes the public brings their children to the park. Our school is safe after school and during school. We have before and after school program. I remembered when I walked in the cafeteria when I was in kindergarten, and I was excited with joy. I couldn't wait to be here till 6th grade. I was excited that I made it. Then I heard that Washington it will shut down. It wasn't fair to the other kids. So please keep the school open for them. Thank you for taking your time to hear my speech. Thank you.
If my school closes, I won't see my friends and teachers. This school is like my family. I don't want it to break apart. I want to keep learning here. This is the best school I've ever been to. That is why I don't want this school to shut down. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Isaiah. I'm a student here in 6th grade, and I have a hope for you guys, and it's called I Too Am America. I Too Am America. I'm an African American. I'm a Native American milk chocolate. I am 5'2". I'm a rainbow tree high in the sky. I'm a pit bull raised to its epic prey. I am from the family. I Too Am America.
If my school shuts down, I won't see my friends anymore. This school is like my family. I will miss the school. I love my school. Since I was in preschool, I learned a lot. Since kindergarten and in 1st grade. Miss Gutierrez teach me a lot, and I can be more better. Miss Corona teach me because she thinks I'm a good student. I don't want the school to shut down. Thank you.
Hi, good night. The district should close the school because parents who live in this neighborhood will have trouble taking kids to another school. For example, those kids whose parents don't know how to drive will have complications. If this school gets closed and we go to another school that is not in this neighborhood, and the kids get injured, the parents will have difficulties to pick up their children. They have the best teachers. This school has programs that other schools don't have, like daycare. That is why the district should not close the school. Thank you.
If my school, I would give them money. I would be scared. All the parents will be sad, and the kids too. I want to have to play with my old friends. I don't want the school to open. Not to close it. I will miss my teachers. The parents don't know where to go. I will miss the school.
My name is Juliana Garcia, and I am a former Washington student. To you, it's just a school, but to me, it was my home away from home. When I was on the campus, I felt safe. My teachers weren't just my teachers, they were my best friends. I love this school so very much. It's part of my community, and without it, I feel not complete. I was a part of the green team. It wasn't just my team that worked so hard on this. It was the whole school. We earned $500,000. How are you going to separate us like that? I had perfect attendance ever since first grade. I loved it here. And I want everyone else to have the same experience that I did. So don't do it.
Please do not close our school. Washington Elementary means to me that much. And it is the best school for me. It has after-school programs, so are you going to close our school for money? I do not want to be separated from my friends. I will miss them and even the Washington Elementary teachers and everything in this world. It is very special to me, and you are not making fun of anybody that likes their school. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Irving Orega. I am a student here at Washington Elementary. As you all know, our school is one of the 11 schools that will be closed down. I could go all night and say all my reasons on why we shouldn't close us down. But since we have so limited time, I made a quick paragraph. Washington Elementary has been here for many years. Some students like me have been here since preschool. Some of those kids won't get to meet the intermediate teachers or other teachers they want to meet. Last week there was a meeting over at the Service Center. At the meeting, not many people from Washington showed up because of transportation. If you close us down, how are the parents going to transport their kids to the other schools? About 50% of our school lives nearby. Most of our community is going to be affected by this. Also, our school has won a trophy in a soccer tournament. Right now, we are in a basketball tournament. So really, there's no reason to close us down. They should add more kids to our school and not close us down.
Muy buenas noches, mi nombre es María Alvarado. Estoy muy orgullosa de esta escuela. Mis hijas han participado con otras competencias, con otras escuelas también. Y ellas se llevaron su primer lugar en PTA. Y en mi mesa estoy muy orgullosa de Mrs. Williams, de Miss Corona, de todas las maestras que aquí elaboran. Y yo pienso que
I'm so proud about this school. I'm so proud about my daughters. They're being in these competitions and they're being winning these awards.
Yo pienso que es una mala decisión y malas decisiones traen malas decisiones. Realmente he platicado con madres de familia que trabajan de noche, que no tienen transportación y han tenido problemas con la transportación de la escuela y pues necesitan ayuda, no quieren cambiarse de escuela.
I'm talking with other parents, and I know they don't have the transportation, they don't have the ability to transport their kids to another school. I don't think you're making the right choice. You should be doing something about this.
Esto trae causas y efectos para los niños que apenas están integrándose en las escuelas. Tenemos ahorita muchos efectos.
This has serious effect about the kids that are just integrating themselves in the schools.
Si ya les hablaron a ustedes en diferentes idiomas, en muchas filosofías, el ser y no ser, dejen ser a los niños, ellos no pueden hablar, nosotros tenemos que hablar por ellos, pero dejen que sean algo en la vida.
Let the kids be. We've been talking to you a lot of times. We've been saying different things to you guys. Please let the kids be. Give them the opportunity to be somebody.
Esta escuela tiene tiene cultura y por eso estoy orgullosa de ella y estoy aquí para defenderla. Gracias.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. How are you all doing? Let's get started. Don't shut down Washington Elementary School. There are thousands of reasons not to close our school down, but I'll cut to the chase. Closing our school down could hurt the community because many people use our school. They use the computers for work, and people go to the park to play on the playground or play sports on the field. There's also tradition. Many families have had their uncles, cousins, brothers, or sisters go to the school. Furthermore, adults have a hard time finding transportation. The parents can't afford cars, so they have their kids take the bus or walk. Our teachers and staff make sure we are safe after school and before school. It is their #1 priority. Instead of closing our school, we should close down other things, such as banks, stores, restaurants, and fast food places. Education is first, that's what all adults say. Shutting down education for money, now that's ridiculous. Last of all, when I found out the school district was considering closing our school, I couldn't believe it. My heart shattered into pieces. Before I leave, I have a few questions for you. How would you feel if your child had to go to a school far away? How would you feel if you couldn't see your friends anymore because you went to a different school? How would you feel? Think about it. Put yourself in someone else's shoes, having to go through this horrible moment. Thank you and good night.
Good evening. My name is Jerry Tamburino. I live in Tahoe Park, not far from here. And about 2 weeks ago, I was planting flowers in my front yard. And I don't have a child in school. I just bought a house there about 2 years ago, and I really like the neighborhood. And one of the reasons I bought there is because the elementary school is a few doors down from the house I was buying, and I know the value of having an elementary school in your neighborhood, and not only property values, but crime rates are down. It's a beautiful thing. So I want to start with, I don't have very much time, but I want to start with a truism that maybe you forgot. Sometimes politicians lie. Does anybody remember that? Sometimes the people you elect to office lie to you for other reasons, okay? The questions that are here tonight about why you shouldn't close my school, the question is, why should you close this school? There is no, so after I was planting the flowers, I had a neighbor come up and say, hey, you know they're going to close the school? And I said, what? And they said, yeah. And I said, well who do I go? So I got involved. I started going to meetings. I started reading. I started figuring out things. Okay? There is no enrollment problem in these schools. Okay? Here's the truth. Here's the truth. This is a plan hatched by John Raymond in the 17th of January. Okay? Actually, he had it in his head way before that, I'm sure. To close 11 elementary schools in Sacramento City. Okay? For whatever reason, I'm not sure yet. I think we kind of, are coming to that reason soon. So there's a process to close schools. So I said, well, Jesus, let's go by the process. There must be a process, right? State Department of Education has the best practices process for closing a school. It's downloadable. Anybody can see it from their website. Minimum of 6 months to close a school, according to the Department of Education, State of California. John Raymond scheduled a vote for a month later from the January 17th date to February 21st. Why? Why? No reason, except because he's trying to pull a fast one. They're trying to pull a fast one, okay? Back east, I come from New Jersey, back east it's called the Bums Rush. The Bums Rush, okay? Here's your hat, what's your hurry, right? They want these facilities. Why? I don't know. We'll figure that out later. But the other reason, so here's the capacity problem. State Department of Education says that a classroom size should be 950 square feet. John Raymond says this classroom size could be 750 square feet. State Department of Education says that a classroom size should hold no more than 20 to 25 students. John Raymond says you can have 30 to 35 students. So there's your capacity reports. Full. All the schools that he's trying to close are solvent. The budget reports are available, I have them. okay, they show a surplus for the last 9 years in a row. So here's the other truth. According to the demographic reports on the Department of Education website, all of these schools are in the most high minority areas, high poverty areas. Okay, this is a civil rights issue. This is a civil rights issue. Now, what do you do about that? Okay, well, here's the deal. You've got 7 people on that board, okay? 4 of them, or 3 of them are going to vote to keep the schools open. We know this. They got souls, we think. But they're going to vote. They're going to vote with you. 4 of them said they're not going to vote with you. One of them is, I think, your guy. So here's the thing, is to find out who he is, where he works, where he shops, or whatever you got to do to get him to change his vote. That's number 1. Number 2, I have some forms here with, and if you want one, I got plenty of copies. All their phone numbers and emails, okay, right here. So I'll leave a bunch of these here for you. Please take them if you need more. My contact information is right here. The other thing I have for you is this. If all else fails, there's something called the, let me just read you something. I know I'm over time, but let me just do this really quick. A major function of the Sacramento County Grand Jury is to examine local, county, and city government, special districts, school districts, and any joint powers agency located in the county to ensure their duties are being carried out lawfully. The grand jury may review and evaluate procedures. They may do a lot of things. They may do anything. And this is the form, and I'll leave these with you too, that anybody, as a citizen of the United States in California and Sacramento and your street, can fill out and bring down to 9th Street, right downtown here, and request a grand jury. Because what's happening here is a theft. They're stealing your children's education for no reason. There is no reason.
Thank you.
I'm here from Washington, and please don't close down my school. Many kids want to graduate from here and would love to. Serious videos. The memories of their friends. I have been to this. I have been to this school since preschool.
I have a variety of friends who have been here also since preschool. We have been here also since. We have many teachers that we've known for a long time. If kids go to a new school, they're going to have new teachers, and some kids will wish they were with their old teachers. Some of us kids hate being the new kids. Thank you for hearing my speech. Have a good night.
Thank you. Just want to remind folks that we're going to try to keep to the 2 minutes so that everybody has an opportunity to speak.
My name is Lori Fanara. Elected board members, Superintendent Raymond. My daughter began school here 30 years ago. Your planned decision, which rips the fabric out of this school community and closes 11 public school campuses, creates a state of emergency in Sacramento, California. Yet, there's good news. The budget for all, barely reported in the commercial media, solves the problem. Just ask Oakland Congresswoman Barbara Lee, one of the 76 members of the U.S. Congress who wrote this national budget based on our local life-affirming priorities. Yesterday, I confirmed with Legislative Director for Congressman Raul Grijalva. The budget for all provides funding needed by the state. This frees up state funding for local K-12 public education, enough to stop staff cuts and school closings for the next 10 years. If we all Google Budget for All and Congressional Progressive Caucus, we'll have the knowledge to make it clear the money is there. As our elected school board, take leadership on this. Join with other school boards. Contact Congresswoman Barbara Lee. Shed your cut and close priorities. Show you care and that you now know the money is there. A cut and close mindset ends in displacement, violence, and crime, moving our children at a more rapid rate through the school-to-prison pipeline. Our families, especially unemployed and low income, have enough stress. We clearly do not want more of this mess. I encourage you to invite for public commentary the honored native Sacramentan, Cornel West, co-author of The Rich and the Rest of Us. During this state of emergency, we gained the insight of one of the country's intellectual best. In conclusion, the value of having no split grade classes pales before the value of the community-connected, intergenerational campus environment found at Washington Elementary. The value pales, as does a speck of dust in the sunset. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Joel Avila, and I'm a 6th grader here at Washington. And first of all, I want to thank everybody for coming to support our school. So can we give a big round of applause to all the parents here tonight? Well, I have younger cousins that come to my house saying, "Oh, I can't wait until I graduate from Washington just like you will." That's why I'm so worried about this school closing down. And the green team, especially when the kids last year were being promoted, they challenged us to get more money than they would, and the 5th graders now are even asking me what their challenge would be, and now we can't tell them because supposedly our school has to close, and I really don't want that to happen because there's so much culture here and diversity, and everybody is just starting to get along. And
what she said is that she loves Miss Clark. That's her teacher. And nobody has mentioned the special ed classroom here, but I'm here to do that. This is a great school for them because it's a small school. Almost everybody knows her. She's been here, this is her 3rd year here, and this is the first time that she has been able to stay in one school. She's been moving from one school to another, and this is the first time that she's really getting to know everybody. I come to the school with her, and everybody says hi. Everybody knows Maribel. Even the teachers, everybody. So it's sad that she has to go to a school where there's going to be a lot of kids. She's going to be lost for one thing. And then also, it takes a long time for her to open up. When she first came here, it took her probably almost a year to where the teacher knew that she could communicate. So she's gonna be walking, she's gonna be going backwards instead of going forward for a long time. I think this is a safe place for her. I'm very confident that she comes here because, never have any problems. I know everybody takes care of the kids and, it's their priority. So I think there's other
ways that they could work this out, maybe bringing more kids from schools that they have a lot of kids in the classrooms, or going up to an 8th grade. So, think about it before making a decision.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing us to at least have some input at this phase of the process. But what I am concerned about the most is that we didn't have input in the beginning of the process. I also don't understand what you meant by you looked at the capacity in terms of developing your criteria for which schools would be selected for closure. I think the process is flawed in that you say, quote unquote, the good schools would grow from closure to another school. Well, that to me is not logical, because if you close Land Park and send the kids here, this school will grow. My grandson is a student here. He's thriving academically, and I would hope that he would continue to make meaningful educational progress. However, have you looked at the impact of moving these children in the middle of the school year and busing them out and to a totally new environment, how it's going to impact them emotionally and educationally? I don't think you've had enough time to really look at the impact on the children's education. And then I would also want to know what the status of the school in terms of their grades. How are the other schools doing in terms of their grades compared to the schools that you have selected for closure? Is there a difference? Are they doing any better? So I would want you to go back to the table and begin again and just open up the process so that it'll be a lot fairer for our parents here, who, I like what the parents said, they're already under stress. Now you're going to add to the impact of the stress that they're already experiencing by changing the rules in midstream. So I would caution you that children that are on a track to succeed here, that you don't impact that negatively, because we have so many people in our community who are diverse, and that is where my concern is, that you're going to impact our kids negatively, when I know you want to do what's in the best interest of our students. I know that's your goal. And then, let's look at the process of how we elect our board members. Because if they're not going to advocate for us, we need to get them out of here.
Hello, my name is Kathy Banks, and I'm the 3rd grade teacher here at Washington Elementary. I've been at the school 18 years. Next year, I will have a student whose father I taught when I first came to this school in 2nd grade. That's the kind of family we have here. Most of the people that are still at this school have been here as long as I have. They've been here longer than me. Patrick Eustace, our plant manager, Charlotte in the cafeteria, Miss Ariano, Miss Corona, Miss Stellar, Miss Pardo, they've all been here longer than I have. I just have a few comments that I'd like to make about the school closures. One of the things I know the district has talked a lot about is transparency, and I'd like to make sure that this is a very transparent process. So I want to know if school closures are based on the value of the property of the school, because I know a lot of the schools that are closing are very nice properties, easily sold off to charter schools. I have heard rumors going around that Margaret Fortune in St. Hope is interested in school sites. and reusing and repurposing schools. And I also heard, I don't know if this is true, maybe the man from the Tahoe Park School will confirm, that Tahoe Park is now off the table and Mark Twain is on. These might just be rumors, but when we're talking about transparency, I think we need to keep that in mind. They're saying the school deficit next year will be $10 million if we close schools. All of the schools, 11 schools impacted, will only be $2.5 million in savings. Where is the rest going to come from? Is that really worth displacing all of these people? And it won't wipe clean the slate. If it did, I might give it consideration, but it will not wipe clean the slate. Priority schools are not closing, and they're also not accepting any teachers from other schools because they want to keep their schools with certain teachers there, so none of the teachers can move over to those schools with their students if any of those schools are taking students from the schools that are closing. I know you did answer the question about bus transportation. Our school, I guess because it is so far away from the other schools, will be receiving bus transportation. I know not all schools are receiving that, so that is a plus on our side, but all those other schools are not receiving that. And I do want people to remember that there are only 3 little schools down in this midtown area, in the downtown area. They will not have a neighborhood school in this area again. That's a public school, so you need to keep that in mind. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Chandra and I'm a parent of a first grader here at Washington. I want to start by saying it's no surprise in this tough economic times that we're hearing a lot about tightening our belts and budget cuts. We know that, and unfortunately, Sacramento City Unified School District may not be exempt from needing to tighten their belt. However, one of the problems that I find so disconcerting with this proposal is its all-inclusive nature. The fact that it's all of these schools or none of these schools. It may be very well that some schools need to be up for consideration for closure. However, you're not considering the individual need of each of these schools because you're voting on them all at once. It's fair that a school gets nominated, but it's not fair that it gets voted out with others based upon that criteria that you stated in the beginning. I feel that it would be more helpful for you to take more time, because that's another problem. It's so rushed, it's so fast, it doesn't give you much time to really consider the full impact, or for the students to really, and staff and parents to absorb what's going to happen to them. It would be better if you voted on schools individually for closure, so you could consider all the factors that each school offers to its community. Washington truly is a community school. Not only that, it's historical. It turns 100 years this year. The children are celebrating its 100th anniversary right now. Downtown Sacramento is all about historic. We got little plaques on everything historically. Where's that plaque for this school? We can't just close the school and forget about how long it's been here. It's a jewel to this community. As she stated, there are a lot of schools downtown. I thank God for Washington and its staff, and I just wish that I asked the board to reconsider and to vote no on your proposition because of the fact that you're not considering the schools individually. You're not giving them a chance to really represent themselves as individual community assets. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nicole DeBoer, and I teach at another elementary school that is actually on the closure list. I wasn't able to be at my community meeting, so I figured I'd come out and talk at this community meeting. My biggest problem, and I've said it to the board members before, my biggest problem is that they did not use accurate facts to make these decisions. That's been printed multiple times in the newspaper. I think that the gentleman from New Jersey, thank you, sir, I really appreciate you bringing up the point of the timeline. There are legal requirements. They're not following that. And I'm sorry, but as a teacher, I understand that. I can't just make up some decision. There are legal requirements. You can tell they've never been in the classroom. For 15 years, I've had 33 students. I understand what it's like to try to teach. You don't. And you aren't doing your children. Wait. I find it appalling that all of the schools are low income, highly diverse. Your school, your children's school is not on the list. It has been part of his list of special schools. He, for whatever reason, he made some decisions there. That's fine. He can make those decisions because he is the superintendent. But our school board members, you are his boss. And you get to talk with him and guide him and say, you know what, this is not okay. This is not good for our community. You moved here from the East Coast, sir. You don't understand our community. Please, don't let this happen. Not this way.
One more thing we'd like to show y'all is a demonstration.
Our hearts were like this when we came in Washington.
They're whole. We're just a family when we all live here. Now that we're all splitting up in different schools, that is not